What's up, everybody? Chris Harris here, and welcome to the second live stream for Let's Do a Mock-Up Live. This is going to be our continuation of covering excerpts from Close Encounters of the Third Kind by John Williams. It's the concert suite available through one of his signature scores. And today is Saturday, February 22nd. Again, this video is for educational use only. And so yeah, let's continue on. All right, so let's take a look at where we left off. I haven't done much in terms of what we did last week. I did get some advice from another viewer that suggested me going into the back end of Berlin Brass and actually any of the capsule libraries. And there's actually a feature in here where you can set the legato articulations to on and off. So I went ahead and set the first slot to CC16. So I'm actually able to turn this on and off. For those that watched last time, I kind of was complaining about not being able to load the same articulation into the slots. Personally, I'd prefer to use key switches or expression maps to change things like that, but what's an additional lane, I guess, in the automation lanes to adjust that. So we can take a look at horn 1 here. Go ahead and close this. And you'll see down here I've got CC16. And I've got that set. So if you turn it on, all the way up, off, all the way down. And so now we can do polyphonic. Polyphonic notes that way. So let's get going. So hey, what's up in the chat? Let me know if you can hear everything okay. If there's some volume mixing discrepancies between my microphone and the audio from Cubase, let me know. Okay, so let's take a listen where we're at, and then I'll kind of talk about things I want to fix later. Which we won't do today. That'll be kind of in the cleaning up phase of the mock-up once we finish it. Okay, there you have it. Test, test. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Might have been an audio issue. I apologize for that. Don't know where I left off. I might have been at the end of this when I played through it, maybe. Okay, let's move on. There was a question I had about the Spitfire Symphony series. Is it worth it? The short of it is, I'm not going to go back and explain that all over again, is personally, if I had to choose in my template, I mean, if I had to choose one over the other, I would choose the other. And I have kind of a mix of libraries going here. I did a review of it in a podcast with a friend of mine, and we kind of covered the pros and cons of it as a cohesive unit. If you can get it for 40 to 50% off, I think it's worth it as a great starter because there's so much in it. But in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency from articulation within the individual libraries themselves, there's a lot of discrepancies. I also found that some of the instruments don't sound that great. They have a particular character to them that's not really appealing to me. And if you can see in this piece, I've not used any hardly from any of them. I used the flute from the woodwinds here, and this is from, these two things are not from Spitfire's brass. So it's honestly, it's just like a characteristic that it isn't too appealing to me, and I tend to stick with other libraries. But there's times that they come in handy. So personally, I feel like it's a personal choice as to whether or not you think it's worth it. But I do like their percussion library, but that's not a part of their symphonic series. There is some outdatedness to it. I wish that they would basically go through and redo this library, kind of like what they did with Albion 1, the original, and then they updated it. Personally, I prefer the older Albion to the newer one. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my take on it. It has pros and cons. For the work that I've been doing, it's had mostly cons of just trying to get the performance out of the instruments, because it just lacks some articulations that I really think should be in there. And I won't go into any more detail with that. So, all right, let's start moving on here. Sorry about the delay in the stream, the audio issue. I don't know how long that went, but yeah, let's pull up the score here. And close that. Okay, so the next page here, we are on page 3 if you have the score. And yes, the Berlin series is great for what it is in terms of articulations. I have my personal issues with it, such as resource management of it. It's very heavy on your system and requires a lot of RAM. And there is some functionality issues, but it seems like they're going to be moving everything over to their new player in the future. So we'll see if things get better with that. Especially since you can kind of pick and choose your microphone positions. You don't have that luxury in their current library format, which kind of stinks. Okay, so all right, so we're on measure. What measure is this? Measure 12. Ugh, I feel like I got nothing done in the last stream. All right, this is going to be kind of an interesting page because there's a lot going on here in terms of articulations that are just very difficult to find in libraries. The trombones are playing clusters, a cluster chord split into 4 voices, and they do what's called a slow lip noise up to a new pitch. If you're a brass player, how you, if you're not a brass player, basically how you make pitches through the brass instrument, depending on the instrument. Some use valves, some use like the slide, like the trombones. But you can also change the pitch based on what's called your embouchure, and it's basically how your mouth is set to the mouthpiece. And depending on the tension in your lips and how you move them in and out, you can change the pitch. I played trumpet and euphonium for a few years, and it was kind of interesting depending on the instrument, the different types of pitches you can get, because it's usually based on the harmonic overtone sequence, I guess, if you will. So you can basically get I'm having a lack of words today. The basic pitch that you can get with your embouchure and like the loosest setting, you basically can tense up and you can get a fifth above that, then you get your octave, then you can get a third above that, and so on and so forth. The tones get closer and closer together as you get higher and higher. Some people that have a lot of great control can just scream some notes without having to push any valves down, and it's pretty interesting. But that's basically what's happening in this moment for the trombones, is they do a lip noise, and they're basically moving up a fourth, a tritone, which I find kind of interesting. So the trombones are supposed to be able to do it with just their lips, but it is set as like a glissandi. So we're going to fake it, and we're going to try to find some trombone cluster glissandis in our collection of libraries here. So I'm going to pull this up and see what we can find. So in terms of where we're going to put this, I'm going to start with, let's go here, go into miscellaneous brass. So we'd already pulled this up. Now we have quasi-ascending crescendo, which we used in the previous page. Now we need basically something like that, but shorter. So let's go ahead and start with Albion 5 and see what we can get. So there is this one called Pulsing Slide Up. Let's hear what that sounds like. If this is short, so that's very long, so that's not going to work for us. So let's go back and let's just kind of see what we've got here. Phrases might be a good one to start. That's where we were. Okay, so let's do tonal and see what we have. Slow gliss. Do we have a fast gliss? Slide up, light crescendo. Let's hear this one. That actually might work, because this is laid out now in tonal pitches, which is what we want. So we're going to go ahead and use those for now, and we might just have to mimic releases, which shouldn't be too hard. So let's add that to this, and we want to get trombones. Gliss up. Okay, and this is starting at measure 12. Okay, let's go in here. Now what beat does it start? It starts on beat 2, and we get a C sharp. Make sure of something real quick. Measure 10, or sorry, measure 12. That's 10. There we go. So it's just out of the range. want to make sure it's in low brass. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if it starts below and it's going up to that pitch. Okay. So let's go ahead and just make that an octave. And then the part, let's take that off. There we go. Yep. All right, so C sharp, and then we have B flat. And then there's a G and an F sharp. And then this goes all the way to measure the downbeat, where it starts on an F sharp. Sorry, F natural, D natural, C sharp, and B flat again. C sharp, B flat. And so we want to make sure those are starting there. So let's do some trickery here. And do this, because by the time these get up here, it's already going to be kind of in this pitch range. So I'm just going to take those out. And I'm not even going to write what's written, because now how it's written in the score is you had those pitches and then it moves up to that and continues that kind of I'm sorry, is that? That's not what we want. Let's do that. Is something else sounding? Okay, there we go. All right, and then let's come in and actually write some sustains, which we'll do here. Trombone ensemble. The top pitch is measure 12. There's that. Let's add in our, oh, we don't need to change the legato. Okay, and then we'll do the remaining pitches down here. So it's measure 13, and then when it went to a D, D, C sharp, B flat. And then in the score, it kind of does a decrescendo. So let's do that. Make sure we've turned off our legato for this moment. This should be CC11. All right. Okay, so in terms of workflow, I think I mentioned this last time. I have two keys set for quantize. I have the beginning of the pitch of them set on Q, so which I think is the default, and then I have the end set to W, so the two letters on the keyboard right next to each other. I can do that with Q, and then I can do that with W, and that one just snaps to the end there. So I want those to end together. Okay, and then come up here. And then let's do that. Let's hear what that sounds like. Let's bring that up a bit. Now let's hear what that sounds like. Sorry about that. Let's go a little ahead of the beat here. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like how this is working because this is crescendoing too much. So we need something a little bit less in your face. All right, let's find something. Okay, slide up large crescendo. Slide up light crescendo. No. Rising quarter notes. No. Slow gliss. That's going down. We don't want that. Okay, let's find something different. Tonal textures. Soft, steadily falling gliss. Soft, steady, rising gliss. I think some of these have release triggers, which would be great. That's not too bad, the release on its... That's too growly down there. Steady tongued rising gliss. Okay, that just lip gliss. Maybe this. I don't hear a gliss happening. It might be really slow. Stings. We need to find something that's slow rising crescendo. No. Falling quasi gliss semitone. There's just not much in this one that's doing what I want. Stabs. Chromatic gliss up. This might be too expressive. Yeah, those are hits. We don't want that. All right, let's go into tonal here. Chromatic slides. Okay. Those are just like sustains that kind of go up and down. Tonal, atonal. Pulsing slide up. I just don't. Let's hear this one doing it again. I'm going to copy and paste this up here. See if this gets us close to what we want. Can't remember these. Oh, those are one shots. Yeah, that kind of hangs on the beginning too long. So that's not going to work. Okay, what are our options? Well, let's look and see what other stuff we have here. Okay, individual patches, brass low effects 1. The joys of finding sounds. It's cool. It's a cool sound. The only other option I have is I could use the portamento, like slide legato in Berlin brass, but I would need to do multiple voices for it to work. I don't know how I feel about that, but let's do it. Single articulations, trombone 1 maybe, legato glissando. Okay, yep, let's do that. So let's go back to our Berlin brass section here. We've got 2 empty slots we can use. And let's see if we can get a good sound going here. Where'd it go? Ugh, way down here. Okay, sorry if you can hear dogs barking. Can't wait to move away from here. Okay. Individual articulations. Trombone 1. Let's see how well this will work. We might not be able to do exactly what's written, but we'll see. Okay, so that goes to measure 13. Let's do this. Snap. Wait, not working. There we go. Trebo? Gliss. Trombone gliss. Legato. Okay. We're just going to write it out. All right. And I want it to start on the top. The top pitch, which was F. And then have it go to the top up here, which it won't be able to do because I think I only did fifths. Yep. So we'll need up your fourths. Let's do CC1. Nope, that's not going to work either. Oh, nice. Oh, hey, Nick. What's up, man? Nick's a cool drummer. You guys should check out his stuff. Good dude right there. All right, so this isn't going to work. So let's just throw this garbage away. I don't like that. It's more for lyrical stuff. Anyways, same changes. No. All right, so we're back to square one. All right. Glissandi. What do we want to do? Really want that to work. Is there anything in Spitfire's Albion? All right, let's go back to this. And we're going to try, also suggestions if you guys know of a library that has something like this. I might have it and can do, so not that one. All right, brass, low effects, and let's audition some stuff here. Okay. Whoops, there we go. Just clusters. That goes back down. That's not gonna work. Okay, so nothing in this library. Let's get rid of that because they're not gonna use that. Okay, next option. Let's go back down. Let's see if there's anything in Espressivo here. Pull the light patch up. All right, let's look at the brass. We want bends. I don't see anything that's looped. These are all rhythmic. Textures. Yep, those aren't going to work. Those are not what we are really looking for. Tootie has stuff in there, but it's all been recorded together, so you can't really separate them, and I don't like that. We could try full ensemble. Could try these. I wish that they had recorded these not as a full ensemble. Nope. Nope. Those aren't going to work either. This is the freaking hard part about doing these types of mock-ups, is finding sounds that can do what you need them to do as well. I could have sworn there was some cool effects in this one. Nope. Got all this damn stuff and nothing is really working. Well, let's see what Chris Hines horns can do. I don't think they had anything the last I checked that were very helpful. Articulation presets. All right. There's a run up. Flutter tongue. Which thing am I in? Why isn't that working? 3, 3. Huh. Not getting sound out of that. Brass, that's... Oh, that's this one. There we go. I'm gonna hear what these rips sound like. If he has something slow. Or 2. No. He has falls. We could do that. That might work. What is it? Let's look at the pitches again. So we have C sharp, B flat, G, and track actually could work. Let's just do that. Okay, so we need it to be longer though. So what choice do we have? Let's see. Glide mode, no. Let's change this to trombone 1. Because that's too thick right now. All right, run up. The reason I changed to trombone 1 is because since I have these like in a cluster, it'll thin them out just a little bit. Then the other thing I want to do is take off its, since I don't use this library that often, so I don't really have these set up to be in my template. Okay, and then let's go in here. I'm gonna need to add some reverb to them. Brass, tuba, brass, trombone gliss up, Chris Hine, TB gliss up. And let's add some reverb. Let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do, I don't know if I have it on this, because I hardly ever use it. It was Virtual Sound Stage or whatever it was called. I don't think I have that installed because I never use it. So we'll just do some panning, just some basic panning. Add it there. Let's give this a little bit more body. Yep, there we go. Now let's hear. Where's it at? What's up? Here. It's a little mono, but yep, there we go. And then F. Let's see. B. Third. G, B. There. So you can see what I'm doing in terms, is there a dog who likes brass? Maybe. If they can hear through my headphones that are over my ear, that would be pretty incredible. So did you see how I just sequenced that? And I was kind of surprised how well that works. So I just kind of thought, how far has it gone up? And I thought maybe about a major third. And then I went up a major third to start the sequence over again. It just kind of feels seamless to me. And it has just a little bit of a fade out and a little bit of a fade in there. That kind of works really well. Let's do that. And cool. Let's bring the volume down on it just a bit. Cool. All right, and then the chord this up. We need to keep... There we go. Let's hear what these sound like together. All right. Do a little bit ahead of the beat. Cool. All right. And we'll see how we can blend these together with the other stuff. So that's going to get us halfway there for now. We can mix things a little bit later. Let's finish the trombone part here. So there's F sharp goes up to, or sorry, F natural. Yeah, F natural. This shouldn't be 3 pitches. Oh, yeah, it should. D, C sharp, and B flat. Okay. Let's start from the bottom. So the B flat goes up to an... Really? To an A sharp. So it goes up to an octave. See, I just don't know how his mindset for this is. To a B natural. And then a C. Nice cluster chord here. And then the F goes all the way up to a D flat. And then this is going to multi-crescendo. Like that. So we get something like this. Works for now. Let's take that down. Take this up. Still, this is my least favorite thing about Berlin brass is the lack of dynamic contrast in the upper end. See, that should be in your face. It's not. Listen, I mean, that's like the highest. It's just not there. Trombone 1's a little better, but the ensemble, come on. It's just weak. Wait for those to go. If I were working, like planning to have this recorded, like on like my own personal projects, I would have already bounced down the bass drum and tam to an audio track, so I don't have to deal with things like that. Cool. All right, that works, but we could maybe boost these. All right, and then let's insert, let's see if I can add a little bit of width to this. And then, oops. That's better. Let's take the pan off of that. Just a little bit, and then give it a little bit more reverb. That should help. There we go. All right, let's go back and listen now with everything happening. I just don't like the color of this. That's better. Take that frickin' body off. Let's do a little bit of room to it. Dark chamber. Way too much. Oh well. Damn it. Let's make this the actual pitch. Sorry, what's the written pitches here? B flat and C sharp. B flat, yeah. So that way we get a little bit more closer to the actual pitches happening there. There we go. It's that. Boost that up. Come back down because I put a wrong pitch in there. Should be F natural. Let's do that. Get that damn thing out of there. Okay, we need to bring these a little bit ahead of the beat. A little bit ahead of the beat there. It's fine if it's not. There. That hides it a lot better. Okay, and then... Alright, so there's that, and then we got the crescendo. Now we need to go back to the tuba part. And where was that at? That was this bad boy. Measure 12 goes up to a C. and decrescendos over time. We're going to layer this with a real tuba part. Let's do Cinnabrass tuba. It's a big, beefy sound. Okay. We want that attack on there. And then that decrescendos. We don't have an ending dynamic, so I'm just going to kind of interpret it on my own. We need a sustain though to trigger the long. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good, but let's go back and do it like that. There. Okay, let's listen to that. Cool. All right, and then we have horns that measure 13, playing on beat 4. So let's do our thing with that. So we'll be playing the top pitch, beat 4, and they're in the low register. They play very short mezzo forte. Sharp. Mezzo forte. And then we're F sharp. Sharp B natural down to E. E, B flat, E flat, and then A flat to D flat. There's no accent, it's just mezzo forte. Interesting. It's a cool sound. Okay, and then we have, we're not using organ in this. Bass drum hits, that rings out. Okay, so the organ does have a moving part here, which it says use the bassoon sound. So we're actually going to write the bassoon part out from the organ. So let's throw in a bassoon line. This is not in the score. This is just I want to use that sound effect in here. Get our legato going. All right, and it's 30-second notes. Measure 14. Starts on beat 4. And we have bass clef, D flat. D flat, C, B flat, down to A natural, and then it goes up, D flat, C, and B natural. Grab these homies, turn our snap off, and legatolize them. All right. Oh, it does. Seriously? B. Oh. Sorry, we need to use contrabassoon for this. Take it down to the contrabassoon. All right, let's see what this sounds like. God, it just doesn't. Nope. Let's do bassoon and do it in the octave that's written. We won't take it down an octave, even though that does sound cool. That's still fine. All right, and there's just a subtle crescendo decrescendo on it, so we'll take it up and bring it back down, just like that. Yep, okay. And then bassoon. Ooh, yeah, I got an idea. So we can write this part. Let's go ahead and make it for both bassoons. Cool sound. It's just subtle. It's in there, but it's very subtle. Okay. Let's do bassoon, beat 4. And there we have a legato line. And we want this to be a D natural to D flat. And that goes through 8th note. It's actually an octave lower than that too. Oh, I love that sound. Just kind of do a decrescendo. Just delete that and pull that down like that. There we go. So that sounds like this. Cool. And you guys need to come up some more. Actually, let's come and pull it up. Make sure you didn't screw with CC11 too much. There we go. There, now let's hear this. Okay. Cool, there we go. All right, now we get to finish the horn part here. This one might be fun. Slow lip gliss starts at the last measure and it ends on the next. So I need 1 measure lip gliss up, starting on those pitches. So let's take a look at what we have, shall we? All right, pull that up. Quasi-gliss ascending. I mean, we could just use this again, but up in, well, no, we couldn't. That's not gonna work. We need something slow and rising. Okay. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. Extra tools. Berlin, no. It's not in this drive. It's in one of these. Nope. There it is. Horns effects. I have worked with this library in frustration for quite a few years. Let's see. Bendings, no. There's some cool stuff in here. Atonal risers, glissandi, octave, long. Let's hear what this sounds like. No. Atonal risers. Nope. Nope. This is frustrating. Rips, tritone, atone. I already did that. Okay, so this one's not going to have what we want. Again, the missed opportunities when you make a library that's designed for effects. It's just very limited. Let's go back here. Let's see what palette has. Orchestral effects. Now this might break the system. I've had a lot of issues with this lately. And it's because it's not on a solid state drive. And I talked to Dickie, who owns Red Room Audio. Hopefully I don't sound like a robot. I probably do. He mentioned that they're working on some updates. So hopefully we see some cool updates. Okay, let's see what we have in here. So shorts. We want longs. All right, do we have anything that is like rises? Oh, rise. Let's do that. Thing is these have trumpets too, so I don't know how much we're going to want to use these. These are all recorded together. Rising Gliss Swell. That's exactly what I want right there, but just horns. Yeah, I can't use this. This is where we're at in terms of orchestral effects. Oh, I do have one other option. Might take a minute to find. Sorry, I had to close that because I have some folders that can't be seen, unfortunately. Okay, there is this library by Hidden Path Audio. These are all maybe. All right, hold on. Hide that for a second. All right, I have an idea. Let me see if there's some stuff in here. Trills, risers. That might work. That was in 1, right? Jeez. These are all over the place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave this closed. Sorry. While I find some of these instruments. Yeah, brass. Yeah, let's just do the risers and. I mean, that's close to what I need. Let's see if that fits. And that's got all the instruments in it. I just don't. That's frustrating me. Okay. We need this measure, what, 15 going into 16? Yeah. I think before the next stream, I'm going to have to go through and figure out these sounds beforehand to not waste your guys' time too much. Okay, 15 going into... Let's see how long this lasts. That's pretty good. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And then, so we've got that kind of cluster going on. Riser. Okay, and then let's add a little bit of... to mimic it being a it should be Chris Hine. TB Glissandi. There we go. And then this we get brass riser. To mimic this being the horn section, gonna throw in a nice splosh there. And then I'm just going to do a little bit to the left. Because this is brass recorded in sections, and so I can hear the horns over there. So if I cut out a little bit of the right channel, that will kind of pull back the trumpets a bit. And then I don't know if CC11 is enabled for expression. But we can make that happen in the patch. So let me go behind the scenes here. Sorry, I got to do all this secretly. Oh, is it under CC1? I may have already put volume automation in there. They did. Cool. All right. And voila. Okay. Yes. All right. Make sure that's in the right channel. Too much reverb. There we go. Okay, and then moving on. Okay, here we have a lot of string stuff to do. Very slow, but constant glissandi. That starts in the low strings and just kind of fades out and blends into the... yeah, we're gonna find a nice slow string gliss up, starting in measure 12. So this will be a fun, interesting task to do. Celli effects. Did I write something for celli effects in there? Huh. Well, what are you doing? Let's get rid of you. Bye. Okay, so here we need just slow glissandi up. So let's go here, go back, and let's find our low strings. And we want phrases, tonal, quarter range, quarter movements, light phrase, nope, long notes, tonal, nothing there, atonal, full range, glissandi. Let's hear what this sounds like. It's all the same length. Let's look at the wave editor. Yeah, just about. They're different samples, but so that's not going to work. It's not long enough. What's up? Pulsing gliss up. This is definitely closer to what I need. If it was more straight notes, though, instead of that pulsing. Trim floor range gliss down. Soft attack gliss up. You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to use that one. SF low strings gliss up. All right. And come in here. Right on middle C. And we need this to last. all the way through 15 to the end of 4. Actually, no. We're going to do a cluster chord right there. So let's see how long this lasts. And decrescendos. Let's actually go down sooner. And do that. Okay. All right, go back. I want to hear how this sounds. That's pretty cool. All right, and then we want high strings gliss up. There's got to be another one that's like pulsing gliss up for high strings. Okay. Strings high, individual sound. Phrases a tonal. Pulsing gliss up. How long does this last? This goes all the way through. Whoa. It lasts a while. Okay, so yeah, we'll need pulsing for sure. Pulsing gliss up. Put that to 2. Okay. And this is one of those things where we can copy and paste because it's the same freaking pitch. And then we just adjust as needed. So this starts at measure 14. It goes through until measure the downbeat of measure 17. And it kind of starts all over again because they get up to their high range like that, and then violins take it back over, which we'll do in a different patch because it's a shorter thing. Okay, and then dynamically they are starting gradual crescendo. Okay, we'll start them kind of around here. Get rid of that because we don't need that. There we go. Okay, B2. All right. I'll stop that early. Just a little bit of a release lay on it. Okay, and then we have a cluster in the strings, which we can play. See, starting on F sharp. Okay, and we go back to kind of how we do our clusters over here. So Chelly, this is measure 15. I'm trying to think. Okay, we can take those all the way back to measure 9. Oops, I didn't put those on the Chelly. There we go. Okay, so measure 15. We start, go back here. All right, and then it's a high F sharp. High cluster starting on F sharp. F natural. E flat, D, C sharp. All the way down chromatically. Okay, sorry. Just two, three, four, five, six. 2, 3. This is the V seed between the 6 desks. And they have a crescendo. Something like that. And then do the same thing below. Copy and paste these guys down to here. And then it's going to be 4 of them. But they're going to start on C down to B. There we go. Oh, and those go through beat 4. Sorry. Like that. Something like that. Beat 4. Delete those. There we go. Be cool if those were tremolo. I like tremolo swells like that. Cool. All right, and then we still have a bassoon lick to put in here. Measure 15, beat 4 again. Copy that. Same thing, repeated. This time, the crescendo goes all the way up. Like so. And then just copy and paste that down. See, sometimes I do this where when I'm doing scores like these, I realize there's more to it, and you can just double it up again. So then I end up having to copy and paste yet again. And this is the same. Copy. There we go. Okay. And that one, we'll just set like that. Okay. There we go. This is very difficult to kind of find what you're after. And I did get the brass riser in there. Okay. So let's hear it back from the beginning. All right, there we go so far. It's coming together pretty good. I'm going to do a little tweaking here for the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm going to call it a stream, just because I don't want to have to subvert you guys to sitting here. So I got a page done. Not as much as I wanted to, but a lot of this just comes with trying to find these right types of sounds. So what I will try to do is find some of these sound effects beforehand. We get into more tonal stuff in the next page, which will be great, because then we can actually write and not have to spend the entire time, an hour and a half looking for a very specific type of sound. So let's do some tweaking. All right, first things first, the beginning here. I want to fix the hit on measure 5, I think. Yeah, measure 5. And a lot of that has to do with I'm using staccato. That's good. Some of these sound way too short for me. Okay. Yeah, like the trumpets. They need to be staccato. So let's get rid of that. Okay. It's so quiet. Okay, I'm gonna double the I'm gonna double the horns and trumpets in Cinebrass down here. So let's do horn 6 articulation, and let's make sure we're on the low. Okay, and then we get our chord down here. Put into that. Same thing. Pull that back. Up there. Sounding a little better so far. Okay. Don't know why that sounded long like that, but whatever. We don't have solo trumpet, so we'll need to copy and paste the chords into the single one here, which is fine. I don't like the solo trumpet in Cinnabrass because it's a little too bright. I try to make it work, and I don't know, just the timbre to it is a little too bright for me. And then that's so synthy sounding. Cool. And then let's throw some trombones in there as well. Get a nice big fat sound. There we go. That's better. So let's hear woodwinds and brass only. That's good. Add percussion. Great. That sounds really good. So strings. I'm going to take woodwinds and brass off and listen to the percussion. I'm trying to get timing right. These guys are early. We need to get rid of that earliness. Same with basses. It's just a little too early. And that's causing that sound to be a little bit too inaccurate for me. So let's hear how this sounds now. There we go. Now, let's hear it all together. The brass needs to stand out a bit more. Whoops. Like that. Let's... Okay. That's good. What do you guys think so far of that hit? That's cool. All right, I do want to... Okay, that's soft. That we can blend a little bit more. I just feel like the woodwinds are coming in too loud. So we're gonna get, one of my dogs is whining. I'm gonna have to end soon to take care of them. Here we go. This is gonna work out great. That's 16, 11. Make sure I read that right on these. Yeah, it's 11. Okay. 11. CC11 is your friend. So I don't always use them in conjunction. I try to stick to just CC1, and then that way I can use a CC11 if I need it. There we go. That's pretty sweet sounding. I think I could probably add some timpani down here. Hard hits. Very good. And then there is a piano, which... Yep, got that. All right, cool. And so let's move on. We have this long sustain, which I feel like I should speed up at some point. That sounded great. Cool. I'm happy with this so far. This is coming together. And I mean, we've got a lot to go. But I might work off stream a little bit to kind of get things moving. And then, but anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. This is coming together. It's just taking forever, and I feel bad. So I'll try to make some attempts to not do that next time. I have some ideas for the next piece after this. I was thinking about hitting up some, either some Jerry Goldsmith or do another John Williams piece. Let me know in the comments if you made it this far and you want to request something. In terms of Jerry Goldsmith, I was thinking about doing some Alien, perhaps. And for John Williams, I was thinking about doing some E.T., just because that's such a great score. It would be pretty interesting to do some mock-ups from that one. Anyways, let me know, and thanks again for watching. Hope you all are doing well. Take care, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.